Hi, welcome again to this session. Opeyemi Olasunkanmi again. Here we are going to be looking at how to present our findings, because after all our analysis and all the effort that we would have put into extracting information from data, the next thing is to present those insights to those who will use them to make decisions. We are going to look at introduction, we look at important factors to consider, and the best approach. Like I said, it is the final stage of data analysis process, at least in a particular cycle. And the goal here is to build trust. You do not want your audience to think that you do not know what you are saying or do not know what you are doing. So you have to build their trust. And the way to build their trust is for you to present your work in a way that is accurate and precise. So you must be precise, you must be engaging, and you must make your information to be relevant. So in order to achieve all of the above conditions, you need to ask yourself these relevant questions from the time you start preparing the presentation to the time you want to start presenting it. One, what is the problem at hand? I spoke about this before in the previous session, that before you start doing anything at all, you have to iron out the problem at hand in all perspectives. You have to understand how the stakeholders perceive the problem. You must understand how other team members and all other department members understand the problem, so that when you are doing your work, you can factor all of that into your considerations. So your presentation must be directed towards addressing the main problem. Now, what is the goal of the project? So the goal of the project is always to find answers to some problem, but you must know in what context is those answers going to be presented. So it's not just about getting the answer, it's all about getting the answers and present them in the context that people will understand. Who is my audience? If you are presenting a finding to technical audience, you can be moving technical jargon and they will be flowing with you. But if you are moving technical jargon in the presence of audience who are not technical, then you are going to confuse them more and they will lose interest in the presentation. Or if they do not lose interest, they won't understand what you are saying, which is not going to help in making them to trust you. What are their values? You have to understand the value of your audience. I think we have discussed this in some of our previous sessions. You must understand their values. If you see, you can notice that I'm saying the same thing all over again. It is deliberate because I want us to understand this very well. So you must know the value of your audience. If your audience are those that value PowerPoint presentation, don't go and use a dashboard. If it is those who value dashboard, don't go and use PowerPoint presentation. I have been a victim of this before. So please always answer all of these questions before you move on to present your findings. Best approach, focus on the key insights. Like I said before in one of our previous sessions, that when you look into the data, you are going to get so many insights out of it if you have done your job well. But the point is that out of all the insights that you have extracted and you are excited about, which of them is going to be key for the kind of audience you have and the problem at hand? Focus on those key insights and explain them effectively. Create a narrative and contextualize the facts and figures. Like we discussed in one of our previous sessions, that it is not about the number, it's about the context. So don't just be quoting figures, rather quote the figures in the context of what is on ground. Effective visualizations and storytelling are your best bets. I think this has been said over and over again. And keep it precise. Make your information to be as precise as possible and avoid unnecessary elongation, because your audience generally have a short span of attention. So you have to make your information so precise that you are going to the detail with accuracy and precision. And start from the most important findings. The first few minutes of your presentation is when people are going to give you the best attention. And hence, that is the time when you want to present your most important findings. Don't put one important finding somewhere and say you want to do a surprise. All your surprises, let your presentation start with them. So these are the important factors that you have to consider when making your presentation. So we have been able to look at important factors to consider and the best approach. I wish us all the best in this journey until we meet in the next one.